Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I'm about to show you guys how to make a combat system in Roblox. To be real with y'all, I kind of avoided combat before, but I finally decided, because people already been asking about combat and stuff, I finally decided, you know what, let me just go ahead and start making stuff like that. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make a basic combat system, throwing punches or whatever, and then you deal some damage. This is not advanced by any means possible. It's just a simple basic combat. You just throw some punches, deal damage, no combos, nothing. But yeah, let's get straight into the video though. So first things first, we're going to head on over to starter player and we're going to insert a local script into starter player scripts. We can go ahead and name this script, I guess combat handler, then in parentheses put local. Yeah, we'll name it that. Then we can delete print hello world. What? Why am I so zoomed out? Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. I was zoomed out. Yeah, that's kind of better. Okay. All right. So first things first, we're gonna want to, of course, get the user input service, right? So let's do local UIS is equal to game colon get service user input service. That's our first variable. Then we're going to make three variables that are for the punching system, like the combat system itself, detecting when a player has already their last punch was whether or not it was a left punch or a right punch, or I guess you could say left hook or right hook, I guess is a better word. And then we're going to make a variable for if the animation is in progress to prevent people from spamming it, or how would I put this? Or to prevent people from using it before the animation already finished, right? So let's go ahead and make these variables. So let's do local left punch is equal to true, right? Because we're going left, we're going left to right. You want to first be able to throw a left punch, then I have to do a right punch, then back, and then vice versa. Just that same just on repeat cycle, I guess. Then local right punch is equal to false. Then local animation in progress is equal to false. We'll set this to true once the animation is playing. Then we need to make a remote event. So let's head on over to replicated storage and let's insert it's not here, so let's type in remote event. Go ahead and name this combat event, right? Then we'll reference the variable local combat event is equal to game.replicated storage wait for child combat event. We've finished our variables. Now to get into the function, right? So we're going to do first, let me think. I guess the first thing we should do is set up the function that detects the input. So let's skip about, I think, yeah, like three, yeah, about like, yeah, 3 lines should be good. We're gonna skip about 3 lines, right? And then I'm going to make a function to detect user input, right? So first, I guess function, yeah, we do function clicked, right? Then close parentheses, and then in parentheses we're going to put input, and then we're going to do if input dot user, this one not autofill by the way, if input dot user input type, make sure you're typing this exactly as I'm typing it though, because like I said, it will not autofill, so if you type something wrong it won't work, is equal to enum dot user input type dot mouse button 1, because the way I'm doing it, change this to whatever keybind you want, but the way I'm doing it is I'm doing every time the player left clicks the mouse, that's when it's going to trigger the combat system. And animation in progress is equal to false. Oh, sorry, 2 equal signs is equal to false. Then we're going to proceed. Then we're going to call the punch function, which I will now create. Hence why we skipped a line. So let's go to line 7 and let's do local function, and you can name it punch, close parentheses, enter. Then we can call for the function right here, then do punch. That's all you gotta do is just do punch. Then of course I need to connect this function to user input. So I'll do UIS dot input began colon connect click, and wait, oh, I don't need this. Yeah, I shouldn't need that. There we go. Okay, so yeah, clicked. Then we're gonna head on over to the local function for punch, right? And we're gonna do if animation in progress, then return. Pretty much, if the animation is in progress, it'll just return. It'll stop the script. No lines further than return will run. Since if animation in progress, because we want the player to be able to spam it, so then it's just the animation is just starting, stopping, starting, stopping, just starting. So that's how you want to have a cooldown. Then we'll skip 2 lines. We're going to do animation progress is set to true, because if it's not in progress, then of course we're going to set it to in progress because it's about to be in progress. So we're gonna make 2 if statements, or more so an if and an else. So if left punch, then this pretty much means if left punch is equal to true, then left punch is equal to false, and right punch is equal to true. Because if we're doing a left punch, then we want to enable the next punch to be a right punch, a cycle. Then we're going to fire the combat event. So combat event fire server. Then you would type, I guess you could say identifier of the event. I'm going to do left punch for mine. So left punch, right? And then I'm going to press enter and do else. And then else. And then we're literally just going to do the exact opposite of what we just did there. So left punch is equal to true. Right punch is equal to false. Combat event fire server, then right punch. And then we're going to come down here. We are almost done with the local script. And then here is where you would put your cooldown. Now, you would want your cooldown to depend on 2 factors. One, personally, however long you want the cooldown to last. But the minimum, which is the second thing, the minimum should be however long the animation lasts. Now, I will be using animations I did not make. I got these from the toolbox and stuff. So if you guys use the animations I'm using, you can just use the same time I'm using. But if you're using a different animation, because keep in mind punch animations are gonna have different times. Like it may take like 0.5 seconds, 0.8 seconds, maybe 2 seconds for a long attack. I don't know. It depends on the animation. But I'm going to do wait 0.5 seconds, right? And then after those 0.5 seconds, animation in progress will be set to false, because the animation will have finished by those 0.5 seconds, after the 0.5 seconds, I should say. And just like that, we have finished everything on the local side. Now we can move to the server side. You guys are done there. You can close that up. Then you can head on over to server script service and insert a server script. We are going to do the complete opposite of what we just did. We're going to do combat script. Well, same thing, but just in the parentheses, we're going to do the opposite. So server, or sorry, not combat script. What did I name it? Combat handler, I believe. Yeah, combat handler server. We're going to delete print hello world. And I'm not going to lie to you, we kind of got a lot to type. I'm not going to lie for the server side, but it's alright though. Alright. First things first, as you guys already probably guessed, we need to get the remote event. Let's do local combat event is equal to game dot replicated storage wait for child combat event, right, just like we did in the local script. Then we're going to get the tween service, because I'm going to animate a damaged effect. I got the idea actually from Bed Wars. If you guys play the game Bed Wars or generally played Minecraft, and when you hit a player and then their body turns red for like a split second to indicate that you did damage, yeah, I got that idea from there, so I'm going to be doing that effect. Then I'm going to get the tween service. That's how I'm going to do it. So let's do local ts is equal to game get service tween service. Then I'm going to get another service. I'm going to do local sound service, or ss, it doesn't really matter. Actually, yeah, let me just stay with doing what I'm doing. Local ss is equal to game get service sound service, right? So I already have some sounds here, right? I have some sounds here. This is the regular punch, like when the player punches, like when they throw a punch, but they haven't hit anything. This is what's gonna play, just to indicate that they've thrown a punch. Then the DBZ punch sound, which is it's like a, well, you guys will hear it. That's the sound that occurs when you actually hit a player. So I'll show you guys. Well, you guys will be able to hear when I test it and everything, right? So we've made our first 2 variables. Now we need to set up the animations, right? So let's do local left punch animation is equal to instance dot new animation. Then we're gonna do animation left punch to animation ID is equal to rbx asset ID forward or front slashes, whatever it's called. Front slashes, then let me get my ID. It's 13. Is that? I honestly cannot even tell. I think it's like 4 9s. So 4 9s, 8557. But yeah, here you would put your ID. If you're using a different animation, that's not like the one I'm using, then yeah, you would put yours right there. If you're using the same, then just copy what I'm doing. Now for our right punch animation. Local right punch animation, we're going to do exactly what we did for the first one, is equal to instance.new animation, and right punch animation.animation ID is equal to, RBX asset ID colon forward slashes. Then we're going to put the ID here. This one is 1349 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 81069, right? And then we are almost done with our variables. We're going to make a table now. And this table is going to be called, let me put a space between it. And this table is going to be called local, well, not called local, but put local, then players who can damage is equal to special brackets. So this is the table full of names of players who can deal damage, right? This is essential because if you were to have it where like you throw a punch, then like, how to explain this? So you need a way to be able to detect if whether or not a player can deal damage. Because if you trigger the function, but it's like you already threw the punch, then if the hand comes into contact with another player, it would still do damage. So you need a table. It'll make more sense when I actually, show you guys. But yeah. So we make about I think it's like three different functions, right? The first function is going to be the damage handler. I'm sorry, not the damage handler. Load animations. We're gonna load the animations. But before we do that, we need to, of course, set up the combat event so it's on server. So just like we did in local scripts, skip a couple lines. First thing we need to set up is the remote event on the server side. Then we set up the local functions. So let's do combat event dot on server event colon connect function. In parentheses, put PLR because automatically sends over the player. Then put attack type. So we can differentiate between left punch and right punch. So first things first, we're going to make a character variable. We're going to get the character of the person who just tried to throw a punch. So local character is equal to game.workspace, colon find first child, player name. Or you could do player.character. It's up to you. But I'm just finding the player in the workspace. So pretty much this is just to double check that the player's character is loaded in and exists. So if character, then that's just a double check. Then we're going to make sure they have a humanoid. So local humanoid is equal to character, find first child, humanoid. So then if a humanoid exists, then we can proceed. Then we're going to do if attack type is equal to left punch. We're going to do left punch first, of course. Left punch. Then we're going to trigger the load animations function. Now, we can go ahead and create this real quick, but we're not going to make anything as of yet. I'm going to finish the attack type if statements for the left punch and right punch, then we're going to get into the other local functions. So let's create it real quick. Let's go back to line 13. Let's do local function load animations. So this function handles not only loading the animations, it also handles playing the sound, playing one half of the sound. Just playing the sound if you're just throwing a regular punch, right? And this is because you want to make sure that the animation is, in sync with the sound, because you don't want to have like you hear the sound of a punch and then like 2 seconds later you throw the punch, or vice versa. You want to have them like in sync almost, if that makes sense. So we can go back here. Then we're going to trigger the load animation function, and then we're going to send over a few things. We're going to send over the humanoid, right? And then we're also going to send over the left punch animation, depending on, whatever attack type is being used. And in this case, it would be the left punch. Then we're going to press enter, go to the next line, and we're going to insert the player's name into the table to indicate that they are able to then deal damage. So table.insert, and then we're going to do players who can damage, comma, player.name to insert their name into the table. Then we can skip 2 lines, and we're going to do character, and then we're going to make a bracket, and then we're going to do in quotation marks, put left space arm. Now I want to explain this real quick. Okay, so for my game, this is I think, what is this? I think it's like R15, I believe. It's either R15 or R6. Okay, R6. So this works for R6. I just want to clarify. Like the overall script can work, but like depending on whatever animation you have, that would change. Like if your game is R15, you would need an R15 animation, and then you wouldn't like there is no left arm. You would need like I think it's like left hand you would have to do just to let y'all know. So I would suggest using R6. If you're using R15 and you need help, just let me know in the comments and I got y'all. But anyway, so we're gonna do character left arm dot touched colon connect function. Then in parentheses, of course, we're gonna put hit, and then we're going to get the character that we're trying to damage. So local character to damage is equal to hit dot parent, and then we're gonna get the humanoid as well. So local humanoid to damage. Oh, sorry, I spelled that wrong. Damage is equal to character to damage. Oh, sorry. Character. What the fuck? My fault, guys. Character to damage. Colon find first child. By the way, some of this would not autofill, so just letting you know, just pay attention. Find first child humanoid. Okay, so if we located the humanoid, we're then going to say if humanoid to damage, then we're going to trigger the damage handler function, which I will now create. Let's go right under the load animation function. Now let's create it real quick. Let's do local damage handler. Oh, sorry, local function damage handler, right? Then press enter, and now we're going to trigger that right here, and then we're going to send over a couple of things. So we're going to do damage handler. We're going to send over the character who's throwing the attack. Then the second thing we're going to throw over is the character that we're trying to damage. Just like that, we're kind of almost done with like setting up the framework for this, because then all we really have to do is just replicate this for the right arm, and then just set up load animations and damage handler, which isn't all that much. Okay, so skip 2 lines. Now I want y'all to like be very careful, right? So you want to be careful of what you're skipping here. So you want to make sure. Oh wait, actually, this is why I said be careful, because I'm actually on the wrong thing. So you want to skip like after the end, and then the end with the with the parenthesis. You want to go right. You want to go after that, and you want to do wait. Then you again use your own whatever time works best for you. If you're following along with what I'm doing using my animations, do wait 0.4 seconds. Then you're gonna do if table.find players who can damage player.name, then table.remove players who can damage, comma table.find players who can damage, and then player.name. And there we go. To explain pretty much what this does, it pretty much gives the player 0.4 seconds to damage what's it called, to hit something like within like the time that the animation is playing. If they don't hit anything, their name is removed from the table and they can no longer damage anybody unless they try to throw another punch, of course. So yeah, we've pretty much set up the basics for it. So now we're literally just gonna replicate this. So we can click this arrow right here, press enter, then do else if attack type is equal to right punch, and then we're literally gonna just you can literally just copy this. I wouldn't understand why you would want to have to retype all that. So literally just copy this. All I gotta do is change a couple things. Change this to right punch animation, then change this of course to right arm, and from there, yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. And like it literally saves you a whole lot of time just by doing that. So just like that, we have finished there. And now we can go up to our local functions, load animation and damage handler. So for load animation, we need to set up the animation track itself. So as you guys know, we sent over the animations from this function onto this function. So first thing we're going to put in the parentheses is the humanoid, right? We sent over the humanoid as well as the animation. So we're going to create an animation track. Local animation track is equal to humanoid colon load animation. This will not autofill, by the way. Then you'd put the animation here. And then after loading the animation, you're going to play the animation, of course. Animation track colon, play. Then we're going to play the sound. SS dot. So for load animation, I'm just doing the regular punch sound effect. Punch sound effect, play. This is my sound effect. You guys can choose any sounds you want, but it's the one I went for. So just like that, we have set up load animations, and guys, we're almost done. I know y'all probably tired. I know I am, but let's get to the damage handler function. So damage handler, it's a little bit of typing, not gonna hold y'all, but it's alright though. We got it. Okay, So for damage handler, we're gonna put character, then the character to damage, because if you recall, that's what we said over here. So put character, then character to damage, right? And then we're gonna go inside and we're going to first check to make sure that the player's name is inside of the table, to then verify that they can deal damage, to prevent it from like double or triple dealing damage when it's not supposed to, deal damage once, unless your game has that, of course. So we're gonna do if table dot find player who can damage character dot name. Then we're gonna of course remove their name from the table. Table dot remove players who can damage. Then comma table dot find players who can damage comma character dot name. And then of course, like I said, please make sure you're following along, because literally a lot of this it doesn't autofill, so you kind of have to type this like type literally everything for letter by letter. So make sure you're typing it exactly as I'm doing it. Okay, so upon this, we're going to stop the sounds, right? So say if like a sound effect is still playing, we're gonna stop it, so then we can either start it again or start a new one, to prevent from like multiple sounds playing at the same time when they're not supposed to. So we're going to reference the sound. So ss dot punch sound effect, we're gonna stop it. Then ss dot dbz punch sound, we're gonna stop both sounds. Then we're going to set the character we're trying to damage his health. We're gonna minus it by, you guys choose however much you want. I'm doing by 10. So, and make sure you please are doing the right character, not character. Remember, character is the person who's throwing the punch. Character damage is the person who's supposed to be receiving the damage. So character to damage dot humanoid dot health is less than or equal to, sorry, not less than or equal to, less than sign equal sign 10. Then do sound service or ss, whatever you chose to name it, ss dot then your sound here. For me, I decided to play the DBZ punch sound when a player when you hit another player stuff, because that just makes no sense to me. Then now comes time for the actual effects. When guys, I can assure y'all we are almost done. Just two loops to do and we're done. Okay. So the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna get all of the children of the player's character and make all the parts red, so that it looks like they're like they glow red, like their character turns red for a solid second, to indicate that that you dealt damage, even though you could just look at the health bar, but either way. So we're gonna make two for IV pair loops. The first one we're gonna do for IV in pairs. Then do character to, once again, make sure you do character to damage. Then do get children. Then enter, right? And here's where the tween service comes in. So first we're gonna make sure we're gonna do if v colon is a mesh part, because those are the parts for R6, parts of the character, is a mesh part. Then we're gonna do the first tween. So local tween is equal to, and this time I'll remember to scroll over so you guys can see everything. Sorry, I'd be forgetting that some other videos, but yeah. So here, we're gonna do it for, I think, 0.4 seconds, because the goal is to really have it synced up with your wait time. They'll all should be about the same time. It shouldn't be that big of a difference. So then we'll do enum.easing style. I just went with linear. You guys can experiment with that, see how it works for y'all, and just choose whatever you like, I guess. Then enum.easing direction, went without, and then that looks the best. And oh, I just realized, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm sorry guys, I just realized I tried setting the tween info with actually creating the tween. Okay, let's create the tween. So just come over here, press ts colon create, right, and then you're gonna put the instance. So put v comma, and then literally you can just copy and paste this. So we needed to do this anyway, we just did it early. So just paste that right there, then comma, now for the property table. So here we're going to set the color. So color is equal to color3 dot new. We're setting it to red, so 1 0 comma 0, right? And then we're also changing the transparency. So transparency, well, if you guys want to, you don't have to, but I would recommend it. It looks cooler in my opinion. It's equal to 0.5. Make them not all the way transparent, but decently transparent. Then of course we're going to play the tween. So tween play, right? Then I'm going to skip right here. Just put a little space in between there. Do wait 0.1. Change this to whatever your desires, to whatever your desired like setting is, or whatever you're trying to do. If you want the player to be red for a couple seconds, make it longer. If you want it to be like a quick second, then I would recommend 0.1. Right? My supporters in my Discord server told me that the quicker it is, the better. So I was just like, oh, okay, so I'll just do wait 0.1. Okay, so we're literally just gonna do the opposite of what we did. Honestly, we could just copy and paste this. Literally copying and pasting is just, it just saves a whole bunch of time. So for this tween, of course, we're gonna change things, make it a little different. This time we're going to make this in. We are setting the color back to the regular gray, which is 0.6, I believe. Yeah, it should be 0.6. We set all of them to 0.6, and yeah, we have that regular default gray. Then we're setting the transparency back to 0, and then we play the tween, and there we go. All right, guys. Whew. All right. Not gonna lie, that was a lot. Damn, that was a lot. You guys have no idea how long it took me to perfect this, because I definitely ran into some issues. But anyway, last thing we gotta do is create a test rig so we can test it. So of course, I'm gonna make a rig builder. I'm gonna make it, I guess I'll make it like a block. Yeah, make it a block. Let me make sure. Wait. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, that should be good. Okay. And then let me click play. If it doesn't work, it's fine, guys. We can just print the bug and fix it. All right, let me make sure. First things first. All right, there we go. I hear that sound, right? I hear that sound. So here's what it sounds like when you just regularly throw a punch. You hear, you know, it's a little thump, kind of like a thump sound, right? And you know, we're doing animations. So if I spin my mouse button, as you guys can see, I'm throwing punches, but it's not interrupting the animation though. Like the animations are playing where I'm able to throw both punches, but at the same time I spin my mouse button. That's pretty much what you're going for. And then for here, I deal damage, the player turns red and stuff. You can, like I said, play around with the time until you get your desired result. Keep hitting it, keeps making the sound until eventually they die. So yeah, that's how you make a basic combat system. I know this video was very long. I think it's like 25 minutes. To be honest, I think this is like my longest video at this time. I think this is literally my longest video and stuff. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like and subscribe. If you want access to the model, because I have the model saved on a file, or just generally the script, you can become a channel member by looking in the description. You can hit the join button next to the subscribe button, and you can become a channel member if you want access to it. So thank you guys for all the love and support you guys have been showing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.